112, what's your emergency?
Time ticks fast when it comes to emergency events. After only 3 minutes without oxygen, our brain starts falling apart. For every minute that first aid is not provided, the chances of survival decrease by 10%. An ambulance takes an average of 10 minutes to reach the scene of an accident. In the countryside, it is often more than 15 minutes. According to our calculations, the chances of survival in this case are minus 20%. But you and I, we can all save these lives by practicing first aid. In fact, around 10% of all deaths could be prevented if first aid was provided in time. But why do so many people hesitate to help? We asked around in the city center of Stuttgart.
No, I wouldn't feel ready for first aid at that moment. I think people are often more afraid of harming than helping, although I also know from doctors that it is usually better to act than to wait.
I was a paramedic once.
So you're confident with first aid.
Definitely not. You never know what to expect.
But how do people react in an emergency? The German Red Cross also wanted to know this. According to their survey, most people react by not acting. According to the survey, 35 million Germans are afraid to give first aid in an emergency. Yet it is quite likely that they will find themselves in need of help someday. 1 in 4 must expect to need first aid at some point in their lives. Nevertheless, 28 million Germans would rather leave the job to professionals, and 25 million would wait and see if someone else can help. But what if no one feels responsible and no one helps? In 80% of emergencies, no help is offered. But first aid measures are often decisive of death or life until the emergency doctors arrive. We visited a first aid course by Primeros. Here the participants learn to overcome their fear of helping others.
A lot of people are just afraid of doing something wrong, or maybe having to take responsibility or some legal consequences, but I would like to mention this right away: you are always protected. Even if people say they are afraid of doing something wrong, you can't do anything wrong. The only thing you can do wrong is to do nothing and just keep walking. Otherwise, first aid is already dialing the emergency number, letting other people know, securing the accident site. It's all much better than doing nothing.
To leave all doubts behind, the course members learn all kinds of emergency techniques today. From securing the scene, alerting the emergency services, to cardiopulmonary reanimation, short CPR. For the CPR, you place both hands on top of each other and intertwine your fingers. With this hand position, you then apply pressure centrally on the point between the belly and the ribcage. Then push and push and push. The rhythm of staying alive by the Bee Gees helps hold the pace until the emergency doctors arrive and take over. Saving lives is a matter of learning. This is also proven by the successful Scandinavian model, where first aid courses are mandatory and part of the school syllabus. A model also worth considering for Germany, to take away people's fear of first aid. Because every bit of help helps. Every year, approximately 10,000 people die in Germany because no first aid was provided. It doesn't have to be like that. So, do something and don't just stand there. Time is everything, so that the person can stay with us for a little more time.
Hey, there you are. Hey, the ambulance is on its way.